Hey everybody, welcome back to the center lane, a political discussion for those of us in the middle who just want our candidates and our politicians to find some common ground so they can move us all forward. I'm going to give you our report on the beach today too, so stay tuned at the end. I'll show you some of the waves coming in, some pretty good surf. Let's start out with Trump, of course. That's the biggest headline of late, and first and foremost, thankfully he's okay, and while I'm not a supporter of his, I'm certainly happy that he's all right. I would not want anything bad to happen to him, nor would most of us. I mean, that type of thinking is not good, and all the conspiracy theories that go around about why it happened or how it happened, I think we'll talk about a little bit more in a second, but thankfully at the end of the day, he's okay. And on the same note, I mean, that poor fireman and his family, and he lost his life that day just because he wanted to go to a rally. That's just not right. So our thoughts go to him. I feel terrible for him and all the people that were affected. So Trump is okay, and he's darn lucky, because that shot, another inch, one more to the right there, and he wouldn't be with us right now. So he's extremely lucky, and thankfully he's okay. The beginning of the RNC convention is tonight. I'm not a real big convention watcher, and I don't know if I will watch too much of it. I do want to see who his vice president pick is, but I'm more interested in his tone after this, this horrible incident that happened over the weekend. What his tone is going to be. I mean, like I say, I'm not a supporter of his, but I'm not a hater of his either. I think he has a lot more empathy and stuff than people give him credit for, and that's partially his fault, because he tries to portray himself as something that at his core, I don't think he really is. But I'll be interested to see what his tone is, if he's going to look for more of a unity thing. He's been saying the right thing since he got the assassination attempt, where trying to draw us together rather than finger pointing. Now, on the bad end of that, I've seen plenty of people, that are making all sorts of wild accusations about Democrats' cause of this and that, and like I say, I don't believe that's what happened. To me, and I have no way of knowing more than anybody else does, but the kid that did this, he fits the profile of that lone wolf shooter, probably suicidal, and to me, and we see it in the school shootings and the mall shootings, very smart kid, more smart guy, and he just pulled it off. I have a feeling that if Biden was speaking instead of Trump, he'd have done the same thing. I believe that. I think he's one of those. It's one of those things. I think I was talking to my daughter, and she said, they found a guy, the Colorado shooters back in the 90s, that their main objective was really to kill themselves. And the way they manifest their thoughts of suicide are, just different. And sometimes it includes bringing a bunch of people down with you. And there's tons of examples, and I could spend all day talking about them. But I don't think that it's some kind of, he was a big Trump hater. He was a registered Republican. He gave $15 4 years ago to some left organization. He's 16. Now he's 20. I just think really he was just a troubled individual that, it's suicide by cop in a way. Anyway, so I will find out more. There's not much that's been found out about him, which leads me to believe even more that there isn't much more to find out. I don't think he had a huge manifesto saying he's anti-Trump. I mean, that's my gut feeling, and we'll see. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but we've seen this too many times before, where these young white loner kids that were picked on in school go out and they act out, and they act out in the most terrible way. So, anyways, if any good can come from that, maybe it can bring us all back down to earth, where we can start thinking about. We can have our disagreements, but violence is certainly not the way to solve them. So maybe some good will come out of this. But we'll have to wait and see. A lot of people are saying the right things on both sides of the aisle, and there's a lot of people on the far right and far left that are saying crazy things that aren't even worth mentioning, because they're just completely ridiculous. So on both sides, not just on the right, left too. So anyways, we'll see how Trump handles it this week. I mean, you hate to think of it in a political sense, but this could give him a real boost, and this gives him a real opportunity to come more to the middle. And which he's been trying to do lately anyways, because he knows that MAGNA alone is not going to get him across the finish line. It'll be interesting to see how this all works out. And I think that, hey, anybody who has a near-death experience like that, it's going to change them. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you want to portray to be. It changes you. So that's Trump. Now Biden. What are we gonna do? What about Joe, man? Oh my God. I mean, he has had a rough week, and now this has put a twist on it. But this prior to the assassination attempt, I mean, up, down, but looking more down than up. That people want him gone. Now he's had kind of a weird opportunity to look presidential, to try to, and I think it's not all political with him. I think he seriously, is being sincere about not wanting, obviously Trump being killed and things like that. He's a good person at his core too. I think they both probably are pretty good, decent people, Trump and Biden. And I'm not crazy about either one of them, but I think that this may give Biden an opportunity to maybe reset and maybe try to take it to the finish line. He's got a rough road to hoe anyways, as far as winning. But if you look at it too, if you're just being realistic, it's going to be hard for somebody to come in there and do any better than him. So maybe we're looking at a situation where, what else are you going to do? Is the Democrats going to do? Who are you going to put in there? I had some wild ideas while I was I had COVID, me and my wife last week. It was horrible, by the way. Be careful. Social distance for sure, man. Be careful. Stuff's incredibly contagious. But while I was lying in bed thinking I was going to die the other day, I was thinking, it might be interesting if, I guess maybe now it seems a little crazy. I was thinking maybe if let's just say Clinton, Obama, George W. Bush, and maybe Mike Pence all got together and went to talk to, first to Biden to get him to drop out, and second to go to, this is going to sound crazy now, maybe I was pretty sick, go to somebody like a Nikki Haley and say, I know you're Republican, but if we were to get you on that ticket somehow, maybe it's an independent, I don't know, or take Biden's place, could she beat Trump? I think she might be one of the few people that could actually beat Trump. I don't think any Democrats out there are going to beat him right now, and no Republicans can on the Republican ticket, but maybe if there's a two-person choice, him against her, I'd be interested to see how that would have played out. But again, now that I'm not quite as sick, I'm much better than I was. Maybe that was kind of crazy. That was induced by COVID. Just blame it on COVID. But something, a wild idea. I thought about it. It's like, yeah, maybe, a unity ticket like that. Maybe she gets my girl, Susan Rice as her VP. Have a couple women run the country. I think we might be better off, all of us, really, seriously. So maybe, that would be something that somebody would catch on to, but maybe not. Maybe that's just a crazy thought. But anyway, so Biden has an opportunity to come back, perhaps, reassert himself and maybe make it competitive. It's still a very close race regardless. Trump will probably definitely benefit from first the shooting attempt itself and then how he handles himself afterwards. He has a unique opportunity to really, I think, come more to the center, hang on to his base. He's got to calm his base down, though. I mean, some of these guys, I'm seeing stuff that's just like, it's time for a civil war, but no, it's not. What's the deal with that, by the way? How does that work exactly? You don't vote for Trump, you get shot? Come on, man. Come on. That's not America. We can come together. We've done it before. And in spite of all this rhetoric and some of the crazy talk from the people that get way too much attention for giving us the crazy talk, I'll guarantee you, if somebody invaded our country tomorrow, came on the shores of Florida here, with guns and bazookas and stuff, that everybody would come together and fight to save our land, because at the end of the day, we're all Americans, Well, Norte Americanos, because we're North Americans. There's Central Americans and South Americans. I don't mean to disrespect you folks. You're all Americans, but we're Norte Americanos, right? And if somebody comes to take the U.S., we would come together. I fully believe that. We've seen that during COVID, when people didn't have food, when people didn't have people are losing their jobs. We came together, all of us. We didn't ask who you voted for. That's how we are. At our core, that's how we are. So we need to remember that, okay? That's my parting shot there. I'm gonna see if I can get you guys a shot of the beach here, the waves coming in. Let's see here. I'm just gonna flip it. Hang on. There you go. Relax, everybody. Take a deep breath. It's gonna be okay, man. All right. I'm gonna leave you with that. I hope you got a good shot of it. Something's interfering on my screen here. I can't get it to flip for me. All right. I hope you have a good one, and I'll talk to you all soon.